And we're live.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Rich, Comments with Rich, Real Talk with Rich, hanging out on another Sunday night. I got the lovely Queen moderator Tamiko with us, and I have the original Don Dada Paul, fresh off vacation. Got a got a nice dark skin tan. So that's what's up, y'all. How y'all guys doing?
I'm great. I'm
All,
relaxed.
all is well.
Yeah, good. I'm glad somebody's relaxed. Because boy, I've been working. I didn't know if it was gonna be a show tonight. But we are here. It is Sunday Night Live. And so want to shout out to the Black Comic Lords crew, Black Superheroes Forever. Tell a friend, like, share, subscribe, please. Tell a friend, tell a hater. I don't care. Send us an email at blackcomiclords@gmail.com. Let us know that that you don't like us. We don't care. But if you do like us, hey, why don't you go on over to the blackcomiclords.net website, get some merch like this bad boy here. You know what I'm saying? So look, it's a lot going on. We got a short time. We're not gonna be here long tonight, hopefully. But you know how we do. But we're gonna just jump right into this thing. Um, Comics of the week. So it was a very, very light week. Matter of fact, I don't even think I had nothing in my long box. I mean, in my pull list. So, Tamiko, if you do the honest, dear, what did you get, or what did you share? What did you read? You know, put us up on something.
All right.
Hey,
I gave a little chit chat about this early in my haul, but this is my current fave Wonder Woman, Historia, the Amazons. This is issue 2.
mm,
And let me tell you, this is the first time I read a comic book and smiled because the art was on point, the story was on point, okay? And this introduces Hippolyta, and you get to see how she became an Amazon.
okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Hmm.
All right, okay. I
So
might
it
have to
was
pick that up because I do like Hippolyta. I do like her a lot.
Kelly Sue DeConnick and Gene Ha did this issue.
Okay.
Black Label, get it, you will not be sorry.
I got the
That's what's
same
up.
book, but I got the cover B.
Ah. I wasn't too enamored with that B. That's why I didn't get that
Yeah. There's a lot going on that cover.
one. It
It's a
sure
little
was.
busy.
But
What
that's
else you
my
got, Paul?
Who me? I'm going through it. I posted what I picked up this week, what I got sent. Um, just flip through them real quick. The highlights. The highlights. I mean, I got the Nita
You
Hawes,
got too much dead,
obviously.
too much dead air. Come on, bro. What you got? What is that?
I got Nita Hawes, which was
Okay.
this is issue 6. It's the final issue of this run.
Right.
I got the Black Panther #5 Boss Logic cover.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Avengers Forever #3, which is the first full appearance of Mariana Spector, the woman of color who's the new Moon Knight. The other cover for Black Panther #5 by Alex Ross. The Miles Morales, probably the big one of the bigger books. The of course the Green Lantern where he becomes the Emerald Knight.
Okay.
I got both covers for that, cover A and the cover B by Alan Qua. Um, let's see. Ah, the Torrin Clark X-Men Reds. That is just a
promo.
phenomenal cover of Storm. He did a bunch of them actually, and I got about At least 3 of them, I think. This is the other one with Storm and Sunspot, who, as we know, is black. Another one with Torrin Clark and Storm, looking radiant. Let's see. I got the popular Spider-Punk. I was disappointed. This one came damaged. It's that crappy Marvel paper. You can't see it here, but it's like it's almost like it was exposed to moisture, and the paper's kind of like a ripple effect. So it's kind of
all of them are like that because my Black Panther 5 came like that, and I was much upset.
The Olivier Coipel Spider-Punk #1. I got let's see, both covers for the Prime Earth with Batwoman on the cover. I didn't really like this one. I preferred the photo one. I know you agree, Tamiko. I saw in your video that you said you also got the photo one. I got the first one as well, simply because this is the first comic book drawn cover of a black Batwoman ever. So for historical purposes, I had to go by that. Another book that was kind of slept on, this is Captain Marvel 37. There's 3 different covers. All of them suck, in my opinion. I wasn't really enamored. I didn't buy it for the covers. I bought it because this is actually a Monica Rambeau and Carol Danvers buddy story.
Okay.
And there's no way you could tell Monica is even in a book from any of the 3 covers, which is very disappointing. Aquaman #2. This cover with Black Manta on it is complete fire. I love that. It's dope. Had to get the Luke Cage for Mayor cover. Tamika, I saw this in your haul as well as the I Am Batman 8 with Tiffany and Jace Fox. Of the 2 covers, this is the one I had to get because you also see their future versions that were alluded to in the Batman Urban Legend #3, I think it is. Advent Comics came out, dropped a bunch of books the same week. So I got, Black Star Line. This one called Sunshine by Advent Comics. And the second issue of Southside finally came out. So for those who keep saying the Black Comic Lords aren't about independent books.
Yes, we are.
One of the more important books of the week, or one of the better reads I got, was Breakout by Zach Kaplan. This is a dope book. I mean, this book, it is Independence Day meets Red Dawn. Independence Day, Red Dawn, and like Ocean's 11. It's all 3 of those movies in a book with a black lead. I recommend this book. Dope read. Other big event this week was Avengers 55. This is the joining of Nighthawk to the Avengers. As you know, if you've been following Black Panther, Black Panther is going.
Yeah, we know, bro. We know. Come on, wrap it up.
Oh, now he's gonna rush us.
Now I'm being rushed. You asked me what I was reading. All right.
I'm messing with you, man. I'm messing with you.
I guess I'm done then.
All right, let me hit a couple of comments we got here. H&H Comics. Is that our pal Derek?
Yes.
The Flex Master of BCL.
AKA Mr. Wizard. AKA the man in the van.
AKA the man behind the curtain. Amen. So, is that a Darth Vader DW mashup shirt, Paul?
Yeah. Join the Kane side.
Well, all right.
That's the thing. Now, see what you need to be up on this. This is what you need to be up on. You need to be up on this. This is what you need to be up on.
That's right. BCL merch. Go to blackcomiclords.net. Go to the store. Get it.
That's a brilliant
That's
design. Who came up with that?
Yeah.
Gordon Mahan. I did not know Vader went to the University of Miami. Paul, nice shirt. If you've been to the University of Miami game, you know the significance of Darth Vader. First issue of Southside was good. All right. That's what's up.
All right.
Okay.
Like, comment, and subscribe, folks.
That's what's up. So, my book of the week is Advent Comics Sunshine. This book is pretty good. What's significant about this book and what this book resonated with me, it's about a character who, the title of the story is called Father's Day. So it's about a father and a daughter. And it's pretty cool. Got some action in it. Art is lovely. And it's just one of those books, one of those introspective books. So shout out to Tony Cottrell doing his thing in this particular book. Like I said, I do have all the other Advent books. I've read about half of them. But this one here is the one that stood out the most to me. Not only is that an amazing cover, I'm sorry about the glare, guys, but yeah, Sunshine. So Advent Comics is doing their thing. That's for real. Now, Paul, to your point about Avengers, I didn't want to just interrupt you, but I did want to kind of touch on that.
You did interrupt me, but go ahead.
So yeah, I did. So listen. Okay, so the word is that they are booting T'Challa. T'Challa, he's got enough stuff to deal with. So he's going to be out the Avengers. What is the Avengers going to look like without T'Challa?
It looked like how it's looked for the last 60 years.
I was just going to just say crickets, but you're right. It's not going to. I don't know. Listen, the Nighthawk character, I know he's from Heroes Reborn. I'm going to give him a chance. But do I want to read an Avengers book without T'Challa?
Well, Blade is still on the team.
Yeah.
Blade is on the team.
Well,
and my favorite version of Ghost Rider, Reyes, is still on the team.
And Echo is there. So I might stick around for her.
I like Echo pre-Phoenix. I don't want any more stories on the Phoenix.
Here's the thing. This is a different Avengers team. We're getting ready to get a different Justice League team. So hey, it is what it is. You were saying to me,
I can't be excited about any team with Carol Danvers when Monica Rambeau is out there in limbo.
Anyway,
and she's the most powerful.
You will not slander the coolest white woman in the cosmos, okay, sir?
The coolest white woman in the cosmos.
Time for the disclaimer, Paul.
Okay, so before we get started on Rich's show, I think I've been nominated by the Black Comic Lords to constantly on Rich's show in particular give out the disclaimer that all the views and opinions shared on this show are those of the individuals that are sharing them and are not necessarily indicative of the opinions of the Black Comic Lords, Black Superheroes Forever, and any of the affiliated organizations, social media platforms, YouTube channels, etc.
Okay.
Yeah, you would say that 15 minutes into the show.
Well, it's when you start making the statements that require it, then yes, it reminds me I need to give the disclaimer. We're just going to add that to your intro. We're going to add that to your intro, a disclaimer that's written.
Whatever.
Okay.
You were saying to me,
one little point that I want to make, I'm sorry, I'm going to break in here. One little point I wanted to make about Avengers 55 is at least I'm glad that they're not ignoring what's going on in Black Panther. Because we're going to talk about it later, but at least these two editors, people, have gotten together and say, look, we're going to have to slide T'Challa out of here so he can deal with what's going on in his book. And they acknowledged it, which was great. So.
Yeah. So that's that. So, hey.
I suspect we're going to, based on what they did at Avengers, I suspect there's going to be a status quo for T'Challa in the Marvel Universe. A significant change in the status quo. Mark my words. A few months from now, we're going to talk about, Paul said it. There's going to be a status quo change for T'Challa in the Marvel 616. I promise you there will be. Derek said he's already Derek said he's already working on the disclaimer for your videos from now on. Thank you, Derek.
The wizard.
You know what?
Your team knows you well, Rich.
Whatever. Moving right along.
It's real talk with Rich. Sometimes real talk can be raw.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Right.
What's the fun? What's the fun in being PC? What's the fun in that?
Gonna have to let that dollar bin bully out.
Adolf Hitler, 1938, Berlin.
You know what? You will not quote Star Trek in here, sir. Let's move right along. See, I'm a Trekkie too. I know that stuff too. Moving right along, we're going to go switch to low-hanging fruit. That is a segment, ladies and gentlemen, where we talk about the news. We talk about things that are just easily, we can just talk about, and we don't have to really scratch our head about or whatever. And so today's low-hanging fruit is actually, I guess, courtesy of Paul. Paul posted up something in our group from comingsoon.net. Constantine HBO Max series reportedly finds its John Constantine. Now, when I first saw this, I saw a brother on the actual thumbnail. I said to myself, that's odd. So I took a little look at it, and lo and behold, it's a brother. They want to play John Constantine.
Sope Duracell.
Okay. Yes. And guess what? This is one of the few times where I'm actually thinking to myself, DC, you're doing too much. We don't need a black John Constantine. Listen, hey, John Constantine is a cool character. He's an Aussie. He's an Aussie. He's a chain-smoking, cancer-filled gangster in the occult. That's what he is. He don't need no help. The brothers, we got Papa Midnight. You want to put him in a role, he should be Papa Midnight. He should not be, John Constantine. With all due respect.
You got Papa Midnight, you got Dr. Mist.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't get this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, in the immortal words of Thomas Sowell. Google that for you conservatives out there. He wrote a book that said, white people, please stop trying to help black people. That's the name of the book. And in one of this, and in this case, white people, please stop trying to help black people. We don't need this. I want John Constantine to be who he is, which is an Aussie, and I want him to just be authentically himself. Now, I'm not saying that a brother can't play an Aussie, and I'm not saying that this character can't be played by a brother. Granted, but we don't really need this, okay? It's one thing to just like, okay.
They could have, if they wanted to race swap a sorcerer character, they could have done Dr. Fate, right? Who's got his origins and kind of, he's the Rich. You pointed out he's the one character in DC that wears an ankh.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be the more logical choice to put it to race swap a black man as the character as Dr. Fate?
If you were going to do that,
instead of a character whose race is almost indicative, there's one thing where you race swap where the race doesn't really matter for the character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you kind of race swapped Jim Gordon in this latest Batman movie. It's not really a big deal because his race doesn't really play a part in his character. But Constantine, he's always been portrayed as, you said it was Australian, I thought he was Brit, but all right, fine. So he's Aussie. All right. So he has been always an Aussie, a blonde-haired, chain-smoking Aussie. To change that is just unnecessary. You've already had properties where it's just not necessary, man. It's just, as you said, it's too much.
Here's the funny thing. When Keanu Reeves played Constantine in the movie, it really wasn't a big deal. Now the comic heads were tripping.
Yeah, he's an American.
Overall, he was received pretty well. It's one of my favorite, comic book movies. Has hardly nothing to do with the comics, but so they did have Papa Midnight in there. Shout out to who's my man played Papa Midnight? Damon. It's I can't get his name right. Help me out, Paul. Yes.
Jaimin Hapsu.
So, but that wasn't really a big deal. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's kind of like, you're kind of doing too much here. Now, Gordon says, right, they do this and they continue to ignore all the hundreds of black characters they have in their library. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Dr. Miss, I went back and reread Truth and Justice #1, which has Dr. Miss in it.
Yeah.
And, remember I don't know if you guys remember this, but I thought this book was so terrible. It began so terrible that I purposely hid it from myself. so I wouldn't try to finish it. But, hey, I'm a glutton for punishment. I went back and tried to reread it again. And it was a little better than initially I thought. But suffice to say, Dr. Miss is a dope black character. But hey, DC does what DC does. Mm-hmm. So, and Marvel's no better because the Eternals was filled with race and gender swaps. It didn't make a whole lot of sense, and I think that's part of the reason why that movie tanked the way it did. But he says maybe they're making Constantine an aberration. I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. It would be cool, but my brother, he don't look nothing like an Aborigine. That's one thing about the Aborigines of Australia. They have a distinctive phenotype, and my man is nowhere near that. He got his lips and nose is screaming Mother Africa. Mama Africa don't play that. So,
the actor Sope Dirisu, I first saw him on Gangs of London. If you have not watched that show, just try the first episode. If you're not hooked, then I get it, but fine. But in that first episode, he has a scene in a bar where he gets into a fight and he kicks everybody's ass in the bar. And I was like, who the hell is this dude? And he's got a swag with him, right? He's got like this cool. And as I'm watching him, like, this guy would be a perfect T'Challa. A perfect T'Challa. There are other characters in the DC universe that he could have played. My preference in the Marvel universe would he either be T'Challa or he'd make a cool Brother Voodoo. But certainly Dr. Mist and Papa Midnight are right there. There's just no reason to cast him as Constantine. Just none.
No, not at all.
If you really want to represent the Constantine show, cast your regular guy as a white dude as Constantine, and have Papa Midnight be on the show. They could be partners on the show.
Yeah.
Problem
maybe
solved.
They're making Papa Midnight. Maybe it won't be Papa Midnight. Maybe it be Papa Powder. I don't know. Maybe a white dude. I don't know. Either way,
I'm surprised you didn't say Papa Mayonnaise.
Papa. That's, you know what? We are about to start co-opting some of these terms. Let me put this on a shirt, make some money, get my pimping up. No, real talk. This is an HBO Max show, and so it's like, okay, you can really, run with the ball on HBO Max. Shout out to what we were talking about. I think it was last week when we were talking about the CW shows with Rihanna. So if this is what they're going to do, then it's already off to, and I ain't gonna say it's going to fail before it actually starts, but it's kind of like, really can't take you serious if this is what you're trying to do. People need to respect the source material. At the end of the day, this is the race swapping, gender swapping thing. It is what it is. Some stuff is okay. Samuel L. Jackson playing Nick Fury. I'm not mad at that. However, you know what I'm saying? When you take the ancient one and you make him a bald-headed white woman, shout out to Kevin Feige. You blew that one, bro.
He's still
But
catching heat for that.
he go catch that. He go catch that, but deservedly so.
Deservedly so.
Doctor Strange hadn't been the same since. So, which is interesting. Is she going to be in the Multiverse of Madness?
From the trailer, it appears so.
So he's just gonna ride that to the wheels. He's just gonna ride that to the wheels fall off, huh?
Yeah, look, you already broke it. You got to run with it.
And
gotta admire.
I didn't mind it so much in the Eternals because the original source material, it was really, really, really Caucasian. So I didn't really mind them doing that to the Eternals because it made them cooler.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about the Eternals. I think no one really expected the Eternals to be to me, the Eternal, put like this. I want you guys to close your eyes real quick and imagine that there is not an Eternals movie.
Okay, that's not hard to do.
Exactly. Not hard to do at all. So it's literally a glitch in the Matrix. All is forgiven, Kevin Feige, but you better recast T'Challa. Shout out to my man E-Man. So yeah.
See, that's the good thing about Marvel, though. I mean, Eternals wasn't a horrible movie. It just wasn't as good as most of the other Marvel movies. But Marvel's worst movies is still better than 80% of DC's movies.
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, I saw. Shout out to King Quattro. King Quattro wrote a review on his personal Facebook page about the Batman movie.
Did he?
Now he did not too much care for the Batman movie. I mean,
really?
Dude wrote an essay. He wrote an essay. He didn't trash the movie, but he clearly didn't like the movie. And
what didn't he like about
it? Ken Quattro is old school dude, and so he grew up with he like me in a way. We grew up with Batman, 1966 Batman. When when Adam West was playing Batman and he was calling Robin chum, and he wanted that Batman. But see, he got emo Batman, and it really bothered him. So I just thought I was really tickled reading it because I was like, bruh, for us that read and know Batman, the comics, that kind of thing, that was a treat for us. But for people that's like going back to the old TV show, nothing like that at all. Nothing like that at all. So yeah, that was funny, man. But anyway, guys, let's shift gears and let's get into Down the Rabbit Hole. Down the rabbit hole. Here we go. So, Down the Rabbit Hole is going to be about Nubia.
About what?
Shout out to Nubia.
Nubia, okay.
Yeah, we're still on DC. We're gonna be on DC neck tonight, so it is what it is. Sorry, DC, I love you, but you're gonna get this work tonight. And I'm entitling
Derek,
this.
can you put out the disclaimer again?
This. You know what, Paul? I'll do it for you. The opinions and thoughts of OG Rich, aka the Dollar Bin Bully, aka will tell DC I don't like you to your face, do not reflect the management or staff of the Black Comic Lords Incorporated and all of its affiliates and associates.
All right.
Now, this is listen.
DC, I don't know this dude. I don't know this dude. I'm not affiliated.
I got evidence, DC. Now, let me say this. This Nubia is a dope character. That's off the bat. So DC, you get props for that. We all know that.
I hear a butt coming.
The first appearance of Nubia is Wonder Woman 204, Volume 1. However, the iteration of the Nubia that we see today. Actually, her first appearance is Wonder Woman, Volume 5, Issue 75. Okay, so this is a different Nubia.
Mm-hmm.
If we're keeping score. So, in my humble opinion, we just finished up the 6th issue mini. It was decent. I'm not going to say it was terrible, bad. It was decent. I'll give it decent. If I had to give it 5 out of 5 power fists, you get 2.5. So, but
having Rich saying your book is decent is damn near high praise these days.
Yeah. So anyway, so here's the deal. Okay. Now, in the wrapping up of Nubia, the limited series, they transition and go into a story called The Trial of the Amazons. Okay. Which was setting up to be a pretty dope, funky good time.
You got Tamiko sighing already.
But what does DC do?
Here we go.
DC goes DC. Okay? According to bleedingcool.com, the Black Comic Lords Research Department pulled this up for me. DC Comics spoils whodunit in Trial of the Amazons.
Research Department.
Yeah. So, the guy hands it to me. He's like, "This what we doing tonight, Rich?" Okay. So, DC basically puts out this dope story about the Amazons, the Banner Big Dog, the Esqueleto, or however you say it. Thank you, Tamiko. They all getting ready. It's going down.
Mm-hmm.
And what does DC do? They tell us the end of the story before we get to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got issues. Why would I want to go out and get Wonder Girl issue number 2? Am I going to spend $5 or $4 for a book? Well, basically, I already know what's going to happen. This is what you did, DC. Now, I phrase this as the sabotage of Nubia. I'll tell you why. First of all, in my humble opinion, this is just Richard's opinion, the best Nubia story that has been written thus far. We've had Nubia Future State. We've had a 6th issue Nubia. We've had Wonder Woman Black and Gold, a couple of stories in that. The best by far, in my opinion, is the Future State books, Wonder Woman Immortal, issues 1 and 2, written by L.L. McKinney and Alita Martinez on the pencils. You want a fire Nubia story. And in my opinion, this is what they should have let them, and I'm not hating on my girl, but they should have been the writers on that book. That's my first thing. I was excited for what was coming from Nubia. What did they do? They hit us with issue 1 of Nubia and the Amazons. And I said it on this platform that they should have gave that first book away for free on Free Comic Book Day, because you really didn't give us anything to celebrate. That was my opinion. That's Rich's opinion. Okay. Now, you might say, well, how does this got to do with sabotaging a character? Well, let me explain to you. First of all, you have my girl hanging out in Atlanta, Chocolate City, beating up on people, letting it be known in her Wonder Woman tights. Okay? I wish we could share the screen.
Tights.
Oh, I knew I was gonna have somebody who look for the evidence. Let me give you the evidence. Okay?
Nubia
Y'all act
doesn't
like
wear
y'all
damn
ain't.
tights.
Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Okay. Let's see. What is this? That's issue 2. I need issue 1. Paul be trying to test my gangster, y'all. I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna show him. Here we go. Let's see. We needed Derek to be the man tonight. We need to this one. You don't remember that? You don't remember that? You don't remember this?
That's not tights.
You don't remember?
That's like armor. Oh, at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Dope uniform. Okay. Now you got my girl hanging out in Atlanta in the dope uniform. She's kicking butt. She's hanging out with Aunt Nancy, which is a tribute to a Nazi, one of your favorite characters, Paul. Okay. They was working with some magic. What we get? Next thing we know, my girl's back at Themyscira, guarding Doom's door.
Mm-hmm.
Hippolyta says, you know what? I need a break. I'm going to go hang out with the Justice League for a while. Hold it down for me, Nubia. She does. Next thing I know, my girl is going from tights. Now she's hanging out and got sundresses on. She macking. She's just not the same. She's just not the same Nubia from Future State. Then, of course, we understand. I don't want to spoil this, but everybody knows. Let's just keep it real. She wins the contest. She's the queen of all the Amazons. Now, the question is, after you spoiled her ascension, you jacked up her story arc, you expect me as a consumer to look past all of that foolishness, all of that crazy stuff that all that crazy stuff that the writer in the book put out there. Past all of that. And you want me to take this character serious. Now, for me as a comic book head, I'm going to buy the books. I'm going to collect the books because if Nubia's in it, I want it.
Mm-hmm.
But what if that person that is on the fence doesn't know whether or not they should take Nubia serious? You think they're going to go out and buy Trial of the Amazons?
Mm.
So I think it's sabotage. And I'm sorry, DC, you are not going to disrespect a potential black superhero heroine who could perhaps at some day be equal to Storm in popularity. Yes, DC, it's that serious. So, what y'all gonna do? Maybe I am onto something, maybe I'm on something. You tell me, Paul.
The Nubia in Future State is a different iteration of Nubia than what was presented in Nubia and Amazon series. I agree with you.
Clearly.
The Nubia in Future State was still trying to figure out who she was. She was actually more of a modern, Americanized, westernized person, which is kind of consistent with L.L. McKinney's take in that book that she wrote, Nubia, the real one.
Real one.
Yeah,
Real one.
The youth.
It was a take that was
paperback.
closer to that take, which was like a modern, Americanized take. The Nubia and the Amazons was a take that was rooted in Themysciran history. It's just completely different character. They're two different characters. There was never it's okay to have different versions of characters because that's comics, but the Future State books, for the most part, have come into being right now, right? If you look at what you read a year ago in Future State and you look at what's going on in DC right now, much of what you've seen has come into fruition, right?
Mm-hmm.
You saw it in the Green Lantern books. You saw it in the Batman books. You're seeing it in Justice League. This week we have Justice League 75 coming out, where the Justice League dies, and who takes over? The Justice League you saw from Future State. Right now, we see last year in the Future State we saw a new Batman, the next Batman, Tim Fox take over, Jace Fox, and now we've got I Am Batman, where he's done that. And you've got Batman out in London or whatever, seemingly dead. So much of Future State is coming to fruition, with the exception of Nubia. I don't know, and they never really gave an explanation as to why they went in a completely different direction with that. Now, from what Richard's saying, he liked that version that he saw in Future State, that modernized, Americanized version. It's very reminiscent, actually, to the version that they've done of Yara Flor, who's kind of has that same sort of voice. But that's just not the direction they went with the Nubian Amazons book. They never explained that why. It almost discounts that Immortal Wonder Woman book and makes it kind of like an Elseworlds book, right? But they never did that with the rest of the series. So they just doing that without having an explanation doesn't make any sense. Unless you're going to say that this new Nubia series takes her out of Themyscira and puts her in America, and she's going to hook up with her auntie and them. I guess they can go in that direction. I will say this. From what I've read from the solicits on the new Nubia series, they're going to go into Nubia's origin or background, which I think, Rich, is one of the things that you said you had a problem with, is that you didn't really know. You still don't know where Nubia's from. Nope. So this new series is supposed to do that. And from the Immortal Wonder Woman series, you saw that she had a bit of a background with her auntie Nancy or whatever that you saw. So maybe that's the take they're going to take with this new series. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's fine, but to me, you've thrown off a trajectory with doing what you're doing. Because if you go and look at the Wonder Woman Black and Gold, the stories that Sheena Howard did a story, and in that particular story, she was in Philly. Yeah. You got one story, she's in Atlanta. You got another story, she's in Philly. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to Tamiko. I have no problem with Nubia being in Philly, but at the same time, it's kind of like, who is this character? If I'm really trying to learn who this character is, why am I getting these different versions of her? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we need some consistency. Yeah. Could you hold on? Let me make this point. Hold on, let me make this point. Could you see them doing this? Shout out to Tamiko, she's a lady in here. Could you see them doing this with Tim Fox? Do you think that we would have a I Am Batman series if they had Tim Fox all over the world like that? Thank you.
All right, so I think
I'm just saying,
sort of standpoint, I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that DC doesn't have a prominent Black woman superhero. Not one.
So why are they trying to jack her up?
Listen to me. It's not jacking her up. It's more of we're at this moment where DC is well overdue for having a prominent Black superhero woman. Marvel's had one for decades in Storm. And DC to this day still has never had a prominent Black superhero heroine. They haven't. So now that you have this opportunity, hear me out. Now you have this opportunity with Nubia to do a character like that. And so everyone's doing their own takes on this character, because then when you have one character that's supposed to represent for 80 years of history that should have been, that character becomes different iterations, everyone's version and everyone's take on the same character. They're trying put all of this stuff in one box. And so now we're getting all these different iterations of the same character because she becomes everything for everyone. Everyone's jumping on the opportunity to shape and mold DC's first iteration of a quote unquote A-list black superwoman character. That's what I think is happening. If there were more opportunities for black women characters, you probably wouldn't be seeing this.
Well, here's the thing. You said earlier that DC didn't really have other characters. They did. I mean, they had Karen Dietrich.
Who?
Bumblebee.
Come on, man! Don't.
I mean,
seriously, you just seriously say DC has an A-list black woman character. Bumblebee.
Hold on, Teen Titans at one time was a big book.
Come on, dude.
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry, I would go for Vixen over Bumblebee.
Yeah. What? Let me see. How many Bumblebee series have there been?
She was a Teen Titan, bro. She's a teen.
No.
She's a.
What did I listen to my question? How many Bumblebee series have there been, Rich? How many Bumblebee series have there been?
0.
Thank you. Stop.
I'm listen. I'm trying to help DC out. You swear it down. I'm trying to kill him. I'm trying to help him.
I give credit where credit is due. They don't get credit on the lack of a black superhero and
like I said,
A-list character for all these years.
If you're trying to promote a character and this is your first major step in trying to go in that direction, I think that you need to be clear as to what you're trying to do with her and the direction you're trying to take her in. Because like I said, I'm confused.
I don't disagree.
I'm confused as, in terms of, okay, is she, and I get what, the whole multiverse and all that. I like that, and I kind of dislike it because it's kind of like if I'm reading something like, say, T'Challa, if I'm reading Black Panther, okay, Black Panther in the Black Panther continuum, I know what I'm going to get. But if I read something like Exiles, where he's called King, it's a different universe, I get it, but I'm not getting these kind of things, and I think it is even premature to put her in all these different settings when people are still trying to figure out who this character is. And all I'm saying is that DC needs to do a better job, because to me, you're kind of hurting what you're trying to do by, kind of jacking up everything. Because guess what? Because here's the thing. See, no one cares really about Trial of the Amazons. You know why? Because it's Nubia.
Ooh, let me come in.
I gotta disagree with you on that point, dude. That first Trial of the Amazons book was dope. The one with Joelle Jones. My God, her artwork is so spectacular. I know Tamiko follows it. Tamiko, what's your take on it?
Let me jump in on this one. Okay. I don't think that they're sabotaging Nubia. I think they're sabotaging the entire Wonder Woman family. They're treating the Wonder Woman family as the redheaded stepchild of the Trinity. Because, of course, everybody knows that Batman is the thing that sells, which is why we have 5,000 Batman comics going on at once. And then Superman with his bunches of comics. The Trial of the Amazons. Now, they started out real great. I was down. I was with it. Until Wonder Woman 786.
Yeah, that book wasn't that good.
Now, first of all, I really want DC. I know that they're in a mess right now. They're in the midst of a merger of some kind, or they're just emptying the whole office of people.
Yeah. DC is being DC.
Can we have one artist, one writer do the entire series?
No. The proper thing the specific thing that you're saying, Tamiko, is can we just have Joelle Jones do the whole damn thing?
And pay her. Considering you cut her off at the kneecaps by ending Wonder Girl at issue 7 instead of 9. as it was supposed to. Because what happened was they decided, well, we'll cancel Wonder Girl in the middle of this run, and then we're going to recycle those two comics into the Trial of the Amazons Wonder Girl. But that's
Yeah, because
basically,
it is two
if
issues.
I can find it, that's basically Wonder Girl's story, and they just added like panels
What's up, James?
of, because this is Trial of the Amazons Wonder Girl. And I said,
Yeah.
this is basically Wonder Girl 8 and 9
Right.
that they should have just let us finish.
Mm-hmm.
But the real travesty of it all is, even in regards to Nubia, okay, you have several different writers, several different artists. And like I said, if I had known what this comic looked like on the inside before I just bought it, I probably would have left it on the shelf.
Yeah, that book was a bit of filler. I mean, look, up until that book, the Trial of Amazons has actually been pretty good.
It was cracking. It
Yeah.
was wonderful. And
Yeah,
then
that book was a letdown.
we got, of course, you know, they, as being a pre-order person, I look at all the previews, okay?
Mhm.
So of course they spoiled that Nubia is going to be the queen of all the Amazons, which means Philippus basically won the contest because she's the one who represents Themyscira in this contest. And then they had another little thing. Well, I'm not sure. Well, I probably should spoil it because that's what boils my bunny even more.
Yeah, we know who did it.
They kill Hippolyta. And I'm sitting there going, what? If you're going to do that, then let her stay with the Justice League since you're going to kill all of them anyway. So they killed Hippolyta. All right. And I was like, okay.
Shout out to Moonlit Comics. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm like, who would do that? Why are they doing that? Okay. And then
listen, I didn't
find
like
out who does it. We don't know why. But
well, we're going to get a one shot. We're getting a one shot.
No, but before I even knew who did it, before I picked this one up, I saw previews for another series starring one of the Amazons who was not involved in this contest.
Right.
Well, the cover of the book was good.
Tamiko's being nice. She don't want to spoil it for y'all.
I could.
But,
do you want me to?
Yeah.
Because that's how annoyed I am.
Somebody actually might care. To my point, you know, when they killed Hippolyta, I wasn't feeling that at all. I was kind of disappointed that they did that at the start of the series. But I'm like, okay, well, let's see where it goes. Because I liked her in the Justice League. I mean, I wish she would have stayed. But to your point, Tamiko, they were going to probably kill her anyway. So, I don't know, man. It to me, it's bad. It's leaving me a bad taste in my mouth in terms of having hopes for this character to be, you know, what it should be. You know, having to jump through hoops and navigate through this foolishness that DC is doing because they don't have that problem with Batman. They don't have that problem with Superman. The problems that they have with those characters is, you know, there are like 20 different books. Okay, this character over here, he might be gay, but you got like 9 other books over here where Superman's a heterosexual. What's the problem here?
Smells like misogyny.
That part. That part. But I mean, again, it's one of those things where maybe I'm on something, but I just was not feeling how this all kind of fell out. Because could you imagine? I mean, let's give an analysis, or not an analysis, but let's give it an analogy. Let's talk about the King in Black. When all the stuff that happened with that book or with that series with Donny Cates, the story being for the most part over, but there's still books that gotta come out to finish the story. The biggest Marvel story in history. That's what they were billing this thing was, right? And it literally was a wet fart on the way out the door.
Thinking garbage.
Oh my god.
You know, it was pretty moist, Paul. I'm sorry. But you know,
Hey,
I'm
you give
trying
an
to get
argument for
God.
me. King in Black was a waste of paper. The only
You
highlight
know,
of King in Black for me was, the issues with Monica Rambeau and that symbiote Spider-Man run.
yeah.
Mhm.
And
There
don't
wasn't
forget the
anything
Black
else.
Panther book too.
And the Black
Oh,
Panther.
no, look, the Black Panther book was on this whole other level.
Yeah. So, you know, but again, that's kind of where things are as far as the Nubia situation. I hope it gets better, and I will check it out when the new series comes out. But I'm like, God, dog, come on, guys, can we get something right?
Now,
Can
I
we,
will
you
say
know,
on a positive note for the Nubia situation, I will give mad props to DC for finally recognizing the fact that they don't have a prominent A-list black superheroine in their books, and they're positioning Nubia. They're putting the investment into Nubia to do that. I mean, I get what Rich is saying about they're kind of doing it in a sloppy fashion because you got different characters and different origins and different takes on the same character. When you're trying to establish this character as an A-list character, it might have behooved you to have a editorial meeting and everybody agree as to what her origin is before you have a bunch of writers doing different takes on it. That just seems like kind of basic common sense. But beyond that, I do give them props for they're making her a prominent A-list character. Um, that's huge. Finally, for DC, it's overdue, but this is a huge event. This is a huge step for them. I realized they were being serious when they came out with a damn Funko Pop for Nubia. When you start having merch, that's huge.
I mean, you know, it's dope. I mean, I'm not boo-hooing it at all. I know that here's my trouble with this here. To Miko's point about how the Wonder Woman
What's up, Mom?
universe or the Wonder Woman franchise itself is kind of hanging on by a thread. You know, the Historia books might actually be the silver lining in all of this.
Yeah, the
But it's a
historian
black
books are
label.
dope.
Yeah. But it's a black label book, which means that, you know what I'm saying, it's not going to get the quote unquote, it'll have to really,
Mainstream.
really be word of mouth. Yeah. It'd have to really be word of mouth for this book to like really catch fire. Because I think a lot of people know about it, but at the same time, I think a lot of people are trying to check for the regular Wonder Woman stuff. So she just had a Wonder Woman Day. She just had celebrated a 750th issue. There's a lot going on. And listen, here's the thing too. Let me add this to the pie. Wonder Woman Day, they put out 3 free books. No Nubia in any of them. But, you know, I understand Wonder Woman, Nubia is not Wonder Woman. But I mean, I'm like, come on, guys.
Let's talk about this because Derek brings up, what are your thoughts on the Nubia Coronation special cover C variant by Reina Kayana? Gordon says that cover and that cover C is fire. So let's take a look at the cover. I'm bring up things from another world. So here's the 4 covers we've got coming out. Here's the cover A by David Mack, which is by itself, it's a beautiful piece of art. That is a beautiful, beautiful piece of art. You've got your cover B done by Sway, who has been killing it in the cover game. You'd be hard pressed to find an artist out there right now doing better black heroes on covers than Sway right now. This is his year. He's killing it. Now I'm going to jump ahead and go to this cover D. This is the 1 in 25 incentive by Crystal Kung. Black and I assume this is what it's going to look like. It's black and white. It's a different take, sort of avant-garde. It's fine. But this is the one that's getting all the attention. Is this the cover C by Reina Kayano? Cardstock variant, so it's on better quality paper than any of the crap that Marvel's putting out right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a dope take. It's got Nubia's colors, the blue and gold. She's sitting on her throne. This sister got on her. What type of sneakers are those?
I don't know. I don't think she need to have no sneakers on, though, to be honest with you.
Look. Oh, you're contradicting yourself because you said you like the take from Immortal Wonder Woman. This is more like the Immortal Wonder Woman take of Nubia, the
Man, look,
Americanized,
Immortal One
modern.
wouldn't have on them jacked up tennis shoes with that what she got on. I'm not saying I'm not saying that I
Those
like
shoes
the
are
color.
clean. Those
Man,
shoes are
she could have put
clean.
give us some nice sandals, bruh.
Oh, brother, that's just ridiculous.
Okay. Well, the point is they're trying to make her relatable to us folks, and if
Particularly
Nubia
younger
I,
women.
was in
I get
America,
that.
she'd have some
Sisters
nice.
today aren't saying I need to wear some sandals. They're like, give me some sneakers that look dope. The
Mm-hmm.
sneakerheads.
Mm-hmm.
She got her nails done. She got her jewelries on. She got her hair done. And you want her to wear her sandals.
You
That's
know
just
what? You know
that's
what?
that's
You know what?
that's the male in you talking, dog.
You know what? See, no. I think what you call wants her uniform back. I think Naomi wants her uniform back.
First of
She got
all,
the
Naomi
braid.
doesn't.
look. First of all, Naomi don't
She
even
got
wear
the
shoes,
braid.
so that's not even a valid argument. Naomi doesn't even wear shoes.
You know what
That sister
shoes, man?
doesn't even have socks. I mean, don't get me started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too on our Ladies Live next month.
Look, they are ruining that character so many different ways from Tuesday. I mean, it's not that difficult, guys. I mean, it's not that difficult to make a black superhero a super heroine. It's not that difficult, really. You go out of your way to just.
Paul, hold on. Let's talk about this for a quick second.
But anyway, before we
You're saying
talk about it for a quick second, this cover, just so you know, is like pre-selling on eBay for like ridiculous amounts of money.
Rent money.
Now, look, you can still pre-order this. Thanks for Another World, $8.99. You can still get $1 off the cover price. I highly suggest
you do that.
First of all, I'm getting all 4 because I'm trying to support, and quite frankly, I like them all.
Mm-hmm.
And
I do like that 1 in 25. The 1 in 25, I definitely like the 1 in 25.
Yeah, you can get that for $22.49. If you had listened to me, which nobody does, and got this as prior to the FOC, you could have got this for like $17 like a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right now.
But this cover C, that's the one that people are talking about. That's the one that's going to sell out real quick, I suspect.
That cover A puts me in the mind of the X-Men Storm cover with her laying where she's nude and she's laying on the flowers. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting off the A. I like the A. It's nice.
Derek points out the cover C requires a minimum order quantity of 250. Mm-hmm. So not every LCS is going to have number C.
Of course not.
So I highly recommend that if you can find a store that's willing to sell it, and Things from Another World is still selling it at $1 less than cover price. So
jump on it.
You have been warned. Gordon says the artist Raina has done a whole line of pictures with sneakers. It was a project she developed. So that's like something she does.
So it's a thing.
Okay, that's her style. Okay.
That's her style.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. If that's what she's known for, then that's dope. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping.
Thanks for the 411, Gordon. That's good to know.
You're looking out.
Because I just think that it takes away. That's all I'm saying.
Let me jump in with my last point about Nubia. Now, this probably won't be that big of a deal if they had a black woman in the editor's room to oversee this stuff before it gets to print. Because you can tell that DC does not have any black people high up. Otherwise, they wouldn't be going through all of these permutations, and especially with the editors of the different areas in the different books of DC.
Yep.
What they need is more black people behind the scenes. Because you can't rely on Jim Lee to care or do anything like this.
Well, Jim Lee's not an editor. He's an art. I mean, I get what you're saying. If you can't have a black editor, at least have a competent one.
Yes.
One that understands the concept that you should get all your writers together and have a caucus to decide what the origin is going to be. Have a Bible of what the person's origin is going to be before you have 4 different writers do 4 different takes on the origin.
And
Well,
read
I mean,
the Bible,
again, her
understand
first appearance is volume 5, issue 75. So
Yeah.
they can go. There's source material there for them to draw from. So
from
yeah.
Doom's Doorway.
So either way, guys, please DC, please, in my James Brown, please, 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 get it together.
Gordon says, "Indeed, Tamiko." Look, we're the thing is, we are rooting for DC because what DC has done over the last couple of years in trying hand over fist to increase its diversity, decrease its black characters representation has done and has continued to do and is still doing. It's not to be understated or overstated. They're doing a great job now. And I want to encourage them to keep doing what they're doing. But on this particular issue of Nubia's origin, there's some basic things you guys got to work out because you're not doing a good job on that. But shout out to them because we're about to have finally a black-led series, a black superheroine series, which count on my hand how many times it's ever happened in DC's history.
Well, I'll say this,
and I tell you, I have a lot more fingers up than that's ever happened before.
I'll say this. Shout out to DC. Get it together, please.
You guys are getting it together. Just polish it off a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just get it right. That's all I'm gonna say. And guys, for those of you out there that Nubia may not be your cup of tea, I'm just telling you, go back and pick up. You can go get these Future State books in dollar bins now, or you can go read about it online. I'm telling you, you will enjoy these 2 issues that they put out. It was amazing. It was amazing. So I can't say that enough about that.
And support this Nubia Coronation special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Nubia Amazon's miniseries after that.
Right.
Even if you don't want to support the series, well, first of all, don't be in a space if you're not supporting Black comics. But beyond that, as a spec book, it's probably a good spec for you to pick up a Coronation special because you're having a shift in the power structure of DC and they're changing the history and making her the queen for all times and changing her role. Remember, I was just talking about having a prominent A-list black superheroine at DC. This is her coming out book for that. This is her Coronation special. This is the book where DC finally has an A-list black superheroine. So say that as it will. Don't listen to me. You can cry about it later when you're saying I got to go on eBay.
I'm from Missouri, the show me state. You got to show me, bro.
Yeah, all right, fine. You can show you and you can pay eBay prices. The rest of you, it's on Things of Another World right now for $1 off.
Yeah, I'll let y'all rave about it.
All right.
Anyway, look, guys, we're about an hour to 10 minutes in. So if we don't have anything else, man, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Do you guys want to talk about anything else before we get out of here?
No, not really.
Our hearts are clear? Okay, well, great. We've had a dope
I picked up the first appearance of Khonshu on a comic.
Oh.
Moon Knight,
another colonized character. Brought to you by Paul.
Colonized? How's he a colonized character? You talking about Khonshu or talking about Moon Knight?
Talking about Khonshu.
How's he colonized?
Well, both of them actually. That is a colonized character.
Moon Knight's colonized.
White people in Egypt, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe they think they Cleopatra or something.
Well, they got a little boy with a yarmulke on there.
Oh Lord, you know what? See, so so you know what? That's so problematic. Did you say a yarmulke?
He's got a yarmulke on.
Okay, children of Israel, they Go back and read your Bible. Read the first couple of books of the Bible.
That's
Torah.
Mark Spector.
You learn about is Mark Spector Jewish? Is he really?
Yes, he's always been Jewish.
Oh, well, he ain't acting like it. He acting like a savage.
So with that said,
he acting like a savage in Moon Knight. Huh?
These opinions are not the opinions of the Black Comic Lords.
Get X-Men red.
Is that the Peach from Mocha? Is that the Peach from Mocha cover?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's blowing up on eBay right now too.
Shout out to X-Men Red. Marvel, you've done it again. It's the only book that you've put out that I'm actually looking forward to reading.
That was a dope book.
It is.
From the writing to the artwork, that was a dope book.
You should have seen me in here squeeing as I read it.
When Storm did what she did to the throne, yeah, that was dope. See, shout out to Jerry Duggan. That dude loves himself some Storm, and it shows.
So, speaking of Black
Derek says
writers,
2025 Nubia Coronation may be in color, probably.
I would hope so.
And James
Shay
gives us props on a great show. Thank you, James.
Appreciate
James
it.
always
Okay. The story with Victor Laval, Sabretooth. How's that going, guys? Because I'm not paying $5-6 for a comic.
I refuse to talk to you about Sabretooth. I've already told you that you should be picking up the book. It's a good book. It's well written. I know you're not you don't like to, you can say there's nothing about the X-Men that's good anymore. The Sabretooth book is good. It's got a new black character on there. It's got multiple black characters in it, written by a black writer. It's actually well written. It's actually well drawn, and you refuse to pick it up. I'm not talking to you about that.
I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna pick it up for half price. I'm gonna get it at half price. I like it. I don't like it at $5.99, but I like it at $3.99 or $2.99.
Fine.
Like
when you pick it up and read it, then we'll talk about it. Don't ask me how the book is.
You're about 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So you're tired of looking at it. They put it in the box.
Just a little bit. We'll be right there with you. I'll take the late pass, but I'm not feeling Sabretooth at this minute.
Yeah. I will support Victor Laval by pre-ordering the book so that Marvel knows that his work is appreciated and will hopefully hire him again.
You know what? Anyway.
It's me being sneaky.
That part. Shout out to Victor Laval. We love you. I'm not buying a $6 book.
Some of us.
Got love for you, man.
Just not enough to pre-order, but got love for him. All right.
You know what? Can we talk about Marvel's paper quality, though?
I'd rather not, because that's a
serious
subject.
Bro, you want me to spend $6? You want me to spend $6 on toilet tissue? That's what you want me to do. It's one great higher than toilet paper. Come on, Marvel. I can literally hold up.
I am
hold up a book.
Because I'm not sure if you can see this.
I can see the ripples. Yeah, I can see the ripples right through there.
It's wavy.
Oh my God, that is so terrible.
And this came off the shelf at the LCS, and I was so hot, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to press it because
Marvel, please.
This is garbage. I would not normally buy comics like that. I said if it wasn't for the fact that this was the A to the Black Panther.
Sure, that's a dope homage. I mean, shout out to Alex Ross. I mean, he did.
Gordon says paper quality is crap, and any thinner would be toilet paper. The ripples are everywhere.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is, guys. But like James said, enjoying the story. Either way, guys, we're gonna get on out of here. We are an hour and 15 minutes. And so thank you to Miko. Thank you, Paul, for hanging out with me on tonight. Shout out to the Black Comic Lords. Shout out to the Black Superheroes Forever crew, all our affiliates, our brothers, our sisters out there, to all of the players, the creators and the player haters. I see you. You think we ain't watching? I see you. Until next time, guys, we want to get out of here. And like my girl Tamiko always says, buy the comics, read the comics. We love you. There ain't nothing you can do about it. Until next time, we say peace. I ain't got no hair, so I'm gonna say no hair grease. No, Tamiko might got that. So. Either way. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We out.
Bye, everybody.